me on that one. And so the next up on the card is much more exciting in my eyes. We have a little brother of Gilbert Burns. Herbert Burns is going to fight Daniel Pineda. Herbert Burns is a really impressive young man. I couldn't speak more highly of him. Usually, when there's two brothers in MMA, Bob and I always joke that there's one lesser brother and there's one greater one, and there's never two. This is one of the occasions where I actually think that both the brothers are super talented, and I think that this is a spot where he could showcase against Daniel Pineda. Not that Daniel Pineda is some joke or a pushover. It's just that Herbert Burns he's got a lot going for him. I believe he's a black belt in jiu-jitsu. He works real hard with his brother, who's also a stud himself. Everyone knows that. And how about you, Mikey?
Well, I agree with everything you just said about Burns. I mean, he's going off for $8,900. I'm going to pay that every time for him because I think this is going to be a bit of a showcase fight. And $8,900 he'll pay off. I'm expecting, first, second round submission. He should give you about 100 points. I'll take a Burns brother without COVID every time. But there's something special about Pineda here. Like, he's won 6 straight, but 2 of those were overturned because of the failed drug test in PFL. So who really knows? He looked good in those, but who knows? Did he look good? What I found interesting was he's finished all of his fights. Pineda has, but of his losses, and he has a lot of submissions. I think of the 26, I think he has, there were 18 of them. You can correct me if I'm wrong on that, but of his 13 losses that he has, 6 of them are by submission. So I never trust a submission guy who loses by submission a lot ever, especially if he's going against Herbert Burns. Even if they nullify each other on the ground and it turns into a stand-up war, I trust Herbert Burns a lot more than that.
Yeah, great point. I have a rule very similar. If I see someone has submission losses in the past, I will never bet against them versus submission artist. And if you tapped via submission, I will never ever ever bet you in a choke. Not tap by armbar, but tap by choke. If you don't want to go to sleep, I'm not going on my roster. I have no respect for it. I got choked out way too many times by my brother War Machine. It's not that bad. It's just a little nap. You wake up, pretty warm and fuzzy. You see, some stars and get lightheaded for a bit. It's not that bad. So just man up.
Yeah, one other thing on that for Burns. We'll get into that when we do like a final lineup thing, but he is definitely in my core lineup at $8,900. I'm spending the money on Burns. He's in every single one of my plays this week.
Yeah, you're kind of like Benil Dariush was.
Yes, exactly. Yep.
Okay, cool. So yeah, he'll be your Benny on the block this week. So yeah. Let's go, Herbert. Next up we have